2 years had passed since the sorting ceremony at Super Naija Academy, SNA, and Nigeria's landscape had shifted into a patchwork of chaos. Bandits roamed the north, oil thieves plagued the delta, and extremists carved scars across the northeast. The graduates of SNA, now hardened by training and scattered across the armed forces, stood as flickering lights against the encroaching dark. In Abuja's Air Force Base, Fatima Abdullahi adjusted her blue cap, her hijab tucked neatly into a crisp uniform as she pored over maps in a command room buzzing with radio static. At 23, her brilliance had earned her a reputation. Major Brain Girl, they called her strategies dismantling enemy camps with surgical precision. "Inshallah, we go save more today," she murmured, plotting drone strikes over Borno, her glasses reflecting the glow of screens. Down in the Niger Delta, Emeka Nwosu stood on the deck of a Navy ship cutting through swampy creeks, his white cap tilted against the sun, tech-enhanced boots gleaming with salt spray. At 22, he'd risen to petty officer, his grit forged in Oshodi, now commanding a crew intercepting oil thieves. "No thief go past my ship," he vowed, his hands steady on the helm, memories of carrying teammates in Kaduna fueling his resolve. In Maiduguri's dusty army camp, Amaka Eze darted through training drills, her green beret askew, her speed a blur that left recruits gaping. "Una too slow a bag," she taunted, though her laughter hid the weight of Joss still lingering. At 21, she was a corporal, her reckless flair honed into a weapon for hostage rescues. In Lagos, Chinedu Okeke patrolled Oshodi's bustling streets, his black police cap shading eyes that flickered with small flames. At 22, he'd mastered his fire enough to scare off petty thieves, his one-armed silhouette a beacon in the chaos, though guilt over Musa and Blessing gnawed at him. "I go make up for dem," he whispered, lighting a lantern for kids playing near a suya stand. Beside him, Segun Adebayo trudged through the same beat, his police badge pinned crookedly, his heart a storm of envy. "Why Chinedu de shine past me?" At 21, he'd stagnated, his lack of powers a chain he couldn't break, his resentment festering like Lagos's open gutters. Life and their assignments was a grind. Fatima's days blurred with mission briefings, Emeka's nights rocked by delta storms, Amaka's weeks filled with dusty marches, Chinedu's shifts a dance of fire and order. But Nigeria's troubles didn't pause. In Maiduguri, a massive operation loomed, an extremist siege threatening schools and markets, a call too big for one branch alone. Fatima coordinated from above, her drones buzzing over Borno's red earth. "Army go ground, we strike from sky," she radioed. Amaka's unit rolled in, her speed scouting alleys. "Dem day hide near the mosque." Chinedu's police squad joined, his flames lighting paths. "We go flushed 'em out." The plan was tight. Drones to weaken, army to storm, police to secure, until it wasn't. The market square erupted at dusk. Dust clouds swallowed shouts as extremists unleashed chaos, their numbers swelling beyond intel. Amaka dashed through, her beret a green streak, shielding civilians. "Move, move, auntie, hold your pike in." She herded a group behind a stall, her breath ragged, when a figure in black triggered a device. The blast tore through the square, a deafening roar that flung Amaka into the air. Her speed couldn't outrun it. She landed in rubble, her body still, her beret rolling into the dust. Chinedu, yards away, threw up a fiery shield too late. Shrapnel ripped through his arm, severing flesh he'd already lost once. "Amaka!" he screamed, crawling to her, his flames dimming as he cradled her lifeless form. "Why, I no fit save her. My fire no do nothing." His voice broke, tears mixing with soot, as civilians wailed around him. Fatima's screens flared with static, her drones downed. "Ground team, report!" she shouted, her calm shattering when silence answered. Emeka, monitoring from the delta, caught the news on a crackling radio. "Maiduguri blast, army police hit," and saluted a photo of Amaka on his ship, his fist clenched. "I go honor you, sister." In Lagos, Segun watched Chinedu's rescue clips on a station TV, his envy boiling. Despite the injury, Chinedu was hailed a hero. Him lose arm, still they shine, me inko? He muttered, his mind twisting. Back in Maiduguri, Chinedu woke in a hospital cot, bandages wrapping his stump, his cap gone. Civilians left flowers for Amaka. Her sacrifice whispered through the wards, she save us, oh. Guilt crushed him. I too slow, too weak. His flames wouldn't spark, his spirit as broken as his body. In Lagos, Segun saw his chance. Chinedu's fame stung like salt in a wound. He slipped into the station's evidence room, planting forged papers. Intel leaks pinned on Chinedu, a setup with corrupt officers who owed him favors. If I no go shine, nobody go shine. He smirked, locking the drawer as sirens wailed outside. Fatima pieced it together from Abuja, her drone salvaging footage. Chinedu no fit betray us, she insisted, her voice shaking as she briefed commanders. Emeka trained harder in the Delta, his crew hauling nets. We go fight for Amaka. Chinedu faced arrest in Lagos, cuffs cold on his wrist. I no do am, he protested. But the evidence was ironclad, his badge stripped. Segun watched from the precinct shadows, his smirk fading as Chinedu's eyes met his. Betrayal burned hotter than any flame. The news hit SNA's survivors like a storm. Fatima collapsed in her chair, tears fogging her glasses. First Amaka, now this? Emeka punched a ship railing. Chinedu no be traitor! In a Lagos cell, Chinedu sat, his stump aching, his hope a flicker. I go clear my name, for Amaka. Segun walked Lagos, his badge heavy. His setup worked, but the cost gnawed at him.